Hey guys, I'm Rocket Baseball here with another video at Singapore for the Formula 2 Grand Prix. We've got 2 races today, and as you can see, into the wall goes Jackie Boy. Not what he wanted to do at all, and his qualifying run as illegal joins the spinners in qualifying as well. Goes for his first spin at that tricky right-hander. On board illegal, go around the last couple of corners and doesn't want to clip the curb. He's clipped the curb, illegal's lost the curb, don't hit the wall, and he has. That's not what he wanted at all. Now, what we're looking at here, I think it's Silver. Yes, it is, in the yellow car, going for an early spin. And that's once again not what he wants to be doing. And we're going to join the spinners as well. As come around the penultimate corner there, we lose the car. And hopefully nobody joins us, and they haven't. So that's good news for us. And this is not looking to be a good lap from us. As Crimson Blades also spun on the exit there. Grip, not really that much around this place, that's for certain. As you can see again, it's basically a drift fest rather than an actual qualifying session. This one turning out to be. Go around the final couple of corners then. Want to get a good exit here. We get a bit of oversteer, we're into the wall. And we're going to call that one a lap and go on to another one. On to the next lap we go then. And time is going out. We really need to get a couple laps together here. Going around the last corner then. Getting this lap absolute perfection. Coming to the line, it's P5. In front of Joe. Now let's continue this momentum on to the next lap then. Heading into turn 1 we go. You want to hit the apex here just like we have. Put the power on. Try and keep the car. We haven't though. We've lost the apex and we've lost traction. And around we go. That's, once again, not what I wanted at all. On Bob with Gunn then, he's coming to the end of his qualifying session now. Heading into turn 1 goes Gunn. Caesar gets fast lap of the Grand Prix. So Gunn really needs to improve on this lap time, and he hasn't. He's lost the car. And he's done exactly what we did, except from he couldn't save it out the wall like we did. However, we've gone purple in the first couple of splits. Is this going to be pole position? Or is this not going to be pole position? Car around the last corner then. Come on, keep this lap together, get to that line as quick as possible, hit the DRS so we go pole. But I will say that Caesar comes along and beats us, as you saw in Gunn's video. Probably should have switched them around, but they're both kind of at the same times. Oh no, that was legit. Felipe came in and beat our lap times. There wasn't Caesar, we beat Caesar legitimately. As go around the last couple of corners, then we lose it. We weren't exactly up on our lap time anyway, but I still was pushing to the limits. Now we've got to stay out the way here. Just in case we get in the ball. Silver's managed to join us there for a spin. Not what Silver wanted to do. So let's hope that the rest of these guys get out of this corner correctly, as Noah came to say hello there. I don't know what that was all about, but hello Noah, have a good race, why not? You know, send it, have a good one. Felipe then, on pole position for this Grand Prix with P2, with Caesar P third, Joe 4th, Gunn 5th, Noah 6th. And that's pretty much the top 6 confirmed right there. So for the championship, we've still got to beat Joe in a few of these races yet if you want that P3. Depends how badly I want it as well, by the way, which I'm not really too sure if I really want to go for it at this stage. Just because of Joe being 17 plus points in front at this point, not really what. It's not really a gap that I don't, it's not going to be easy to catch. As it's a wet race, what? Yes, races at Singapore. Bull wet then. And that's going to make this one interesting as we're sliding around the car. You saw how spinning there was in Singapore in the qualifying dry. So I wonder how bad it's going to be in the wet as, yeah, we got around. For God's sake. And because it's like a full grid here, 17 drivers, we've got to wait here for quite a long time. As there's a couple of people losing their car, and Brian's got around as well to join the spinning club. Why not? Right, 10 red lights then at Singapore, and away we go. Who's going to get the best start? Me or Felipe off the line? And it's a pretty even start by myself, although on the track, should we get a bunch to start than Felipe, who's much later on the brakes. Is he going to go off the track? Of course he's going to go off the track. We go off the track as well, but Felipe gains the position by going off the track, in my opinion. He should probably get this one back to me, as I pretty much had that if he had not braked that late. Is he going to go into position going against his right-hander? Not really. I don't know what's going on here with Felipe. Making a lot of mistakes early on in this Grand Prix though. We're going to go up the inside of Felipe. Yes, we are, to take P1 in this Grand Prix. What an amazing start to this race. We take P1. See if we can keep ahead of Felipe then. Now, I don't know where the breaking points is at any of this place. Someone's absolutely gone for a huge dive off hit with Caesar. We had to give Caesar space by going off the track, and that's giving Felipe the lead again. Caution. Caesar, man, control your car in a braking zone in the wet, because that's just cost me P1. Because we had to avoid that, otherwise we've both gone around, and that would not have been good for either of our races. Right, on board with Noah then, heading into turn 1. How did his start go? He goes up 2 cars on the right hand side. Sam's in the mix as well there. Gets a much better drive than Noah. Now heading through into turn 3, this left-hander, any sort of problems for Noah at this point. still side by side with his teammate Gun. They should probably sort of out between a pair of them. They are teammates, so I'll end in the wall. Heading to this right hand, and then oh, their teammates have collided. They've crashed. They've hit each other. Oh my god, the teammates have collided. They've caused an absolute pile up. No wonder the safety car is out. And that is just an absolute disaster for all those people involved. I know what you're going to be saying, oh, this should be a red flag, but to be honest, I was at the front, Chris wasn't anywhere near, we didn't know what was going on at the back, so otherwise we probably would have called a red flag. So, let's see the start from other people's point of view. So let's go with Bob Legal then as well, as he headed to so on. How was his start? He had a pretty decent one by the looks of it. He's in P10 at the moment. Can he get past the car on his right hand side of Egon? He's up the inside of Egon, gets to move down on Egon, then into P9. Now, off the exit, he has to be careful. He almost loses the car, but so did Interlagos there. Heading through this right-hander, sideways again for an Eagle. He goes for a spin. So, it was also Noah and an Eagle go for a spin. Then James got involved as well. Now, on board with Gunn, the person who's also been involved in this one, as the teammates collided, causing an absolute huge pile-up. What happened on Gunn's POV then? Heading into this right-hander, clipped the apex perfectly. Oh, it's no contact on Gunn's point of view, but from Noah's point of view, Gunn's taking him out. And I think that one's going to go down to the steward. There's probably a racing incident if he decided to send that one in, because there wasn't a lot that Gunn could do. There wasn't any contact on his screen, personally, from my point of view. You might see it a different way. But Caesar and Sam got a massive mess there, and that actually gave Gunn a huge advantage. But he got a legal overtake on one of the drivers. Oh, what is going on here? A little bit of misunderstanding going on here. From the replay camera here, you now see how far back Caesar came from. Off the track completely, may I say. And that's ruined a few people's races a little bit there by dropping positions, etc. For Felipe, it's given him a massive favour, as we've almost lost the car there. That was quite bad. Nice bit of save by ourselves, but once again, all we want to be doing is look at the sound behind us, and Felipe's in front of us. We don't really want this. Wait, why has Felipe got a cross next to his name? What's happening here with Felipe? Please don't disconnect, because I need to get past you, and I'd rather not get past an AI. But I'm pretty sure Felipe has disconnected here for this Grand Prix in Race 1. And there's confirmation. Felipe has disconnected for the session, meaning we have to get past an AI car pretty quickly, otherwise we're going to get absolutely stuck behind an AI car. And it's just not what you want around Singapore Grand Prix track here. As you can see, the AI is just, we can't get past it at this stage. It's very much a single file track here. So we're going to have to probably send a move here into the last couple of corners. Not really one for an overtake into the last corner. We'll have to stay behind the AI for even longer here. You can see the time we're losing against the AI. Right, finally, straighten the car up, get past the AI here, or can we? No, we can't get past the AI car in a straight line. He's just so fast. Right into turn 1 though, we're going to brake later than AI. We're going to get past the AI. Sam behind us follows us through into P2. Nice driving by Sam to get past the AI as well. He needed to do that. See if he can win this Grand Prix or not. Heading side by side with us versus the AI. You'll see how cheeky Sam is here as well to get past us. He pretty much had to do that because of how early that AI broke. You've got to watch out for that because it might just cause a few crashes. Now on board with us again with Sam behind us here on lap 7. 10 laps to go at this one. And I think Sam's just got a little bit more pace than us. And he's just left-handed there. We're not going to let Sam through just like that. Although he's gone for the inside line. He's got more pace than us. And he has taken the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix in race 1. Fair enough, I tried to fight that one. Although he's made a mistake into the right-hander. Can we get past Sam here? We go side by side into his left-hander. Sam, though, with the inside line, should really carry the momentum. We're going to try and do a switch back here on Sam. He gets a bad exit. Side by side again with Sam into a left-hander. We have to back out, though. Wasn't much we could do about that one. Now, heading into further left. And we're going to be pitting at the end of lap 9. Confirmation just like that. We are going to be pitting, and I expect that Sam will probably pit as well, and I think he has. Not really too sure. I think someone tried to pit and then went over the limit there. I don't know if it was Sam or the back marker. Someone's going to have to zoom in on that one, because if it was Sam, he could have been penalised for that, but I wasn't certain, so I didn't send anything in. Blue flags, thankfully a car got out the way there. On to lap 12 we go. Not the most exciting Grand Prix after this one, I don't think. Don't think much more is going to happen. Sam just cleared off and is going to win this Grand Prix. Those yellow flags though. Sam's off! Sam's crashed from the race lead. He had like an 8-second lead and he's binned it. We've taken the lead of the race then. And somehow Sam has come back right behind us with no damage. So our battle here, P1, is resumed then. And we've got to make sure we keep Sam behind us for longer this time so we can bring it home in P1. Heading through this fast right-hander, then is Sam close enough for attack? No, he's not. He's going to have to wait a few laps into the future. He's had to wait till the penultimate lap here. On to lap 16 we go. Is Sam going to send it up the inside of us? Yes, he is, because of how early we've broken. We're not going to fight it. We know that Sam needs this for the championship. So, we've let him go, to be honest. We could have defended that. We could have braked later. We decided not to. We did, however, try to stay with Sam after that. And as you saw, the tyres there just died off. We almost binned it as well. But it's going to be P2 for us. Sam winning this Grand Prix then. For the championship, he needed that. I don't know if he is the champion just yet, but he 100% needed it. And well, it's really deserved if he didn't split off earlier. We get P2, and Caesar gets P3 then, with Joe P4. I mean, I'd rather Joe be further back down the field, but you know, good job by him for this championship anyway. He needed that P4. I think he probably would have preferred a podium in this one for the points, but it is what it is. He'll take what he can get around this track, especially as it was right. It wasn't the easiest of the tracks we've done so far, that's for certain. There you go then. Joe getting a penalty as well. That's interesting, because me nor Sam got penalties, and we had the much more pace than Caesar and Joe there. So, penalties looking interesting. Felipe then, the AI, well, hopefully it didn't wreck anyone else's race. It was very early on when he lagged out. And hasn't rejoined, by the way, so he's going to be AI for the second race here. Gotta hope there's going to be no contact between an AI and someone else in race 2, because there is going to be an AI within the top 8, and that's going to be an absolute nightmare. And to make it even more a nightmare, it's also raining. Great. 2 wet races at Singapore, but this time they put us on dry compound tyres, because it's simply not wet enough. Does that make it more tricky? Yes, a lot more tricky. And as you'll see, during this whole race, this is basically just a slide fest. We got cars off everywhere, hitting each other, even on the finishing lap. An Eagle's been disqualified, and I expect Caesar will be disqualified. Sam was disqualified as well. What a bloody nightmare this is going to be if they're crashing on the finishing lap. To be fair though, Sam was only disqualified because that Eagle hit him. But this is a pretty packed formation lap grid already. They've not even made it halfway around yet. And on the power we go, and the rear just says, no you do not, round that corner. And I spun us there. Not what I wanted at all. But at the end of the day, what can you do about that one? I didn't even do anything wrong either, because I was in a straight line. I just applied just a little bit more throttle and around we went. Bit of a joke, we'll see how it goes. Turn red lights again here for race 2 of the Singapore Grand Prix, and away we go. Can we get a decent start here? I wonder who is going to get the whole shot though. It's turn 1. Sam, well no, that's Caesar, sorry, getting a bit of a messy start. Heading into turn 1, they were so cautious, we didn't dive by 3 cars there. Oh, they forced each other off. Caesar's forced off one of the cars. That was Brian who got forced off by Caesar's driving. On the exit of turn 3, they're side by side with the AI as well. Oh, what a nightmare this race is going to be. I'm expecting a bit of a crash fest, and there's a spinner further back. I don't know who it was, but it's brought out the yellow flags. Heading into turn 4, this tricky right-hander then. Thankfully though, other than that, it's looking pretty clean at this stage. Sam got a bad exit. Are we going to send it up the inside of Sam or the outside of Sam? I don't know, but heading into this next left-hander, up the inside of Sam we go. Don't really want to fight Sam this early on, but G-Boxster has spun it in front of us. Somehow we've managed to avoid that without getting damaged. Something's happened to Sam as well on the exit of that corner. So this is really, it's just turning out to be an absolute mess. As there's a bit of contact behind illegal, and Interlagos's been involved in that, and someone else as well. And that has caused a pile up further back. I think that's caused a safety car, not really too sure at this stage. But Crimson is in AI mode as well. I don't know why these people have quit. They all know it's a race 2. And they've quit, etc. And it's just caused an absolute nightmare. Heading into this right-hander, it's James, who's just sent it on about 6 people there, and it's caused that pile-up. And James, you really need to look at that one, because you've just caused that huge pile-up for going for that. And I think he needs to apologise to a few people for that one, personally. That's my point of view of that. Right, heading through to this right-hander then. What is happening? We've got a spinner, and this time it is Caesar who's gone around. Brian absolutely sent that one. If he moved that late, just a little bit closer, that would be more contact. We sent it on the AI car. We got that completely wrong. That was just my desperation to get past the AI car, because I know how much it's going to hold me up. It's going to have more grip than us as well, because it's AI hacks. Right, heading into this left-hander then. And there wasn't much we could do about the AI. Into the last couple of quarters we go then. Oh, this is a little bit of Gun versus Sam. Gun's hit Sam into the wall. And oh, no, Sam hit Gun into the wall. Whichever way you look at it, Gun's in the wall. Sam was the car behind. Right, it's his right-hander, Noah versus Interlagos, and Joe is behind these two. as they are battling. Joe's almost lost the car though. Joe is absolutely saving the car. What a save by Joe that one was. And I'm pretty sure that was the reason why I clipped it. As you see though, the grip is just not there. And this is only lap 2 now. This is an absolute joke. Right, us versus AI and Brian now. So this is going to be a bit of a mess. Out of this fast right-hander into the tricky left-hander. We've got purple now. We've definitely got some pace over the cars in front, but we're still stuck behind a goddamn AI. Move, man. Right, into this right-hander. We're just going to send it. I don't even care. You've frustrated me, AI. We've always put him in the wall. I would have preferred that because that would have made it easier for everyone else to get past. But thankfully, the AI we no longer have to deal with. But look at the gap Brian got from that. 2 seconds. So now we've really got to put the hammer down and get out of here. Further back, Illegal also getting past the AI. Let's see how he did it then. Right, just see the time that you lose behind that stupid AI car. As that's cost Illegal a position for Egon almost. Just side by side into this left-hander. Egon around the outside. Someone's crashed in the front there. That was on myself actually. I almost crashed. Wow, didn't know I did that. But yeah, we almost binned it there. Oh, contact between Egon and Illegal, and that's put Egon into the wall. And that gave Egon some damage. Right, heading into this left-hander one more time then. What's happening here in this screenshot? Well, looking in the background there, pink car's gone well off. That was Gunn. And now Caesar's gone well off as well. What are those two doing? They're just hitting each other into the walls. Interesting driving by the pair of them. Right, Joe versus Noah though. On this fast right-hander straight. Is Noah going to get the position on Joe? He needs it. Gunn's retired further back to this Grand Prix. He's not happy about it. Side by side. There's contact between the pair. Joe forces off Joe forces off Noah. That's not going to help Noah. And I'm pretty sure Noah's going to be too happy about being forced off there. And onto the exit, we had a full straight and we've got it for a round. We got it for a spin. And that's let the stupid AI back in front. And that's left Sam back in front as well. So we lost 2 positions from that. Luckily though, no damage. We should be out of the race from that. Right, then that's a VSC. Now, let's see if we can try and get past this AI as quick as possible then. Onto this straight we go. And onto the start finish straight. The AI's broke! The AI brakes! Why? Why is the AI braked like that? That's stupid. That's retired us. We're out of this Grand Prix because of an AI. What a joke. It's braked on this main straight for no reason. We are out of this Grand Prix. Illegal wasn't happy about it either. He was in the party. He just laughed his head off, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I don't understand that at all. The AI should not be braking in a straight line, let alone there. And it's caught us out and we're into the wall. Well, into the back of the air car, and that's our race done. More points absolutely gone from us, and that's going to give Joe a huge advantage, who is right now in P6, so I could do with him going further backwards than that, to be honest, but it is what it is. Side by side for this race lead is Noah versus Interlagos. There's a bit of contact there between the pair of them, but they're keeping it rather clean. Haggis is right-handed and Noah at the inside line. Interlagos round the outside, keeps the move though, and that is great defending by those two. On board with Sam, who's managed to catch him on the final lap of the Grand Prix. So, who's going to win this one then? Out of the 3. You've got to say Interlagos on penalties, because the other two had to go through some quite hell stuff to get through the field. Sam especially. They're side by side. There's nowhere in Interlagos. It's his right hander then. Still side by side between the pair of them. Interlagos loses the car onto the apex. Right, Noah's lost traction out the corner. Sam's going round outside of Noah for the championship. That's huge. Sam gets past Noah then. Here's P2. Go Sam. Now it's really needs to focus on Interlagos because he's the one with no penalties. And he could do with Interlagos making a mistake if he's going to put pressure on. Heading into his fast right-hander, well, slowish right-hander, underneath this little bridge section, which is definitely one of my favourite little places on this whole racetrack. Bring out the hairpin, they go then. Onto the exit goes Sam. He's got DRS available to him. Is he going to send up the inside of Interlagos into this right-hander? Not really going to be close enough this time round. But he is closing on Interlagos at a very high rate of knots. But he's running out of time here. As Illegal versus Joe for the back. Illegal's got past Joe. I don't know how that's been done. Oh, the yellow flag. So someone else has crashed or something. I don't really know. Still, Sam is still behind Interlagos at this point. But Sam needs to really go for this. As Interlagos has still got the lead in this Grand Prix. Out of this right hand they go. Sam's up the inside of Interlagos. On this last lap of the Grand Prix, Sam's gone for it. He's taken the lead here. He was P3. Who says you can't ever take a Singapore? Sam just showed you can get past 2 cars in one go. And he gets the move done. Fantastic drive by Sam. Sadly though, on penalties, it's to no avail. Interlagos wins, Noah's P2. But Sam gotta be driver of the day for that wonderful performance to get P3. And I really respect that drive from him. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to put everything. But he has, and he's got that position. And that is crucial. As Interlagos then rounds the final couple of corners to cross the line, come P6. Whew, what a race that was in the end. As Joe gets P7. Bit of a nightmare Grand Prix for Joe, but could have been worse. Could have been like mine. Ended up in a DNF for this one. Oh, it's got worse for Joe. He's actually got more penalties than Silver. So Silver gets P7. Joe gets P8. Crim's going to get P9. Or is... no. Yeah. So, there you have it, lads. Interlagos with the win. And overall points in the weekend. And there you go. Somehow... we still got more points than Joe, I think, if I've got that right. So, a lot of penalties, a lot of warnings, a lot of track limits being used up. That's how it goes in racing, especially around these two tracks. Well, this track, 2 races around here, you're bound to get warnings and penalties eventually at some point, or you're going to have a crash. We had quite a few, to be honest. If we didn't get hit by the AI, we probably would have DNF'd anyway, because we should have been out from that first original spin we had, where we hit that wall so hard and it didn't give us any damage. I don't know why it hasn't, but it hasn't. But, in my opinion, Sam's driver of the day for that last lap, and because he won race 1. Did we let him through? You can make that up to your own mind, if we did or if we didn't. Because what you also will notice is because we were red on fuel. So maybe we were saving fuel along the straight and broke earlier because of saving fuel. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.